Hello everyone and welcome back. In the last video, I demonstrated how to connect your SQL server to your application, to your Visual Studio and to your application as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed to build a simple application and that application will be of an employee management type application. So what I'm going to do with the application is that I want to create or insert an employee into my table of my database. I want to update the employee, I want to delete the employee, and I also want to search for any specific employee. So this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to implement in my application. In my application, um, yeah. So let's just start, and let's go ahead and start with that. Okay, so for this purpose, I have implemented a simple user interface here, as you can see it. This is a simple user interface. You can enhance your user interface as per your will. You can add any other pictures or buttons, or you can provide any other colors. As per your will, you can change your user interface. So I have selected a fairly basic user interface. What I'm going to do is I provided here four buttons for an add employee, for to update the employee, to delete the employee, and to search the employee. And I also have provided a data grid view here. This data grid view will act as soon as the form loads up. All the employees that are present in my table will be displayed here automatically. So I have to only search for the employees. In order to display all the employees, it will automatically be happening. Anyway, okay, so what I'm going to do in this video today, I'm going to implement the add employee function, and I'm going to add an employee to my table in my database. So I have already connected my database to my Visual Studio as I've shown in my previous video. Here it is. And I have created a table here. So I'm going to show you this table right now, what my table looks like. There is some data present here, but we'll ignore it. So this is my table. It has five columns, one, two, three, four, five. The employee ID. Employee ID is auto incremented. As you can see, it is disabled. It is automatically incremented. I don't have to write in custom values here, and it is a primary key. The employee name, the employee city, the employee contact, and the employee salary. This is of course a text value. This is the text value. Contact is also a text value because I don't need to do any calculation on the contact. So I thought that I should implement it with a uh, text value, and this is an integer value right here. So this is my table right now. Why have I shown you my table? Because I want to implement the same schema that I have implemented in this table in my add employee application form, so that there is no mix up of the values. Okay, now, so what I will do is, first of all, let me show you how to navigate from one form to another form. Let me show you this now. What you have to do is, because I want to navigate from the add employee form to another form, first of all, let me create the other form. What will you do? You will click here and go towards add and add a new item. In the new item phase, you will select a form and you will add a form. So I've already added a form here. This one, add employee, because I want to basically add an employee. So here it is, the form is created. Now, how will you navigate towards this form? Because as soon as you start the application, the first thing that will load up is your dashboard. You have to go towards the add employee form. What you will do? You will perform a form navigation. How? You will create an event of this button, add employee. Simply double click on it, and now what you have to do is you have to type in the name, the class name of the form that you are going towards. So what you will do, you will select this add employee form, add employee. This is basically a class and the object of add employee, and instantiate it. And now what will you do? You will do object dot. Now there's a method called show. As soon as the show method is implemented, the form that has been directed towards the add employee form, it will automatically show and pop up. So there is simple two-line code. As you can see now, I will show you this. You can click the start button here. As soon as it opens up, click on the add employee, and here it is, the add employee form. Okay, so yeah, let's now move towards coding aspect. Yeah, so one thing I forgot is that I have implemented a simple UI in add employee as well. Now you can see one thing, that I have five text box here. The ID, full name, city, contact, and salary. These are the matching text box as with my columns, because obviously. One thing that I have done here, that I have given the property of the ID, the log enable property here, a false value. You will find the enable property. You can find the enable property here in the behavior, I think, in the behavior tab. So let me search for it, the behavior tab, where it is. Here's the behavior tab and enable. Okay, the enabled is false. Why have I put it given the value false here? Because the ID is automatically incremented. I don't have to put any value here. So if this text box is enabled, although it is doing nothing, but it is stupid to give it a enable true value, because the user will put in something and nothing will happen. So why do you need to enable this in the first place? So it is disabled. So the full name, city, contact, and salary are enabled, and I have given the variable names to it. And that's it. Just let's start on inserting the values in my table. Yeah, so first thing that you have to do is that you have to provide the connection string, similarly like I did in my previous videos in my form1.cs form load event. I have to do the same with add employee form load event. As soon as the form loads up, the connection string is enabled. So what I have to do is I have to provide a connection string here. You can simply copy the same connection string that you have done here, because the databases are the same. You can simply copy this and paste it there. One another thing that I'm going to do is that I am going to uh, provide the SQL connection, the SQL ratio variable with a global value, so that it is accessed everywhere. Okay, so button save click. Now I the main working will be on this button, because I have to insert the values. So there are actually four variables that I need to initialize. The first one is the full name, or the name. Just simply put a name here. The text box that is being provided the value with is the name text, I think. Oh, sorry, full name text. Yeah, full name text dot text. No need for any parsing here. Same with the city. The text box is city text dot text. No need for parsing. Same with contact, because it's also a string value. Contact text dot text. Lastly, I need a long variable. I will tell you why I need a long variable for this. The integer short and long series. So what I will do is I will convert it to int 64, because the memory value. Why am I using a long here? Because in my database, when I created the table, I provided the data type of that column of the salary column with a big integer, and big integer transponds to in Visual Studio as long. So what I will do is I will give it a convert dot in 64 and provide the value of the text box here. So the text box is salary text dot text, and that is it. So the variables are initialized. Now what you will do, you will create the utmost important query string, and you will provide a query here. So the query is insert into, then the table name you can provide a variable here and concatenate it, or simply write down the table name, the employee table. And now, because you have to provide the values on specific columns, not all of the columns, so you have to give the name of the column as well in sequence and properly. So the first one is EMP name, the second one is EMP city, the third one is EMP contact, and the fourth one is EMP salary. Yeah, so that's it. Okay. Uh, Furthermore, employee salary, then you have to give the keyword of values. I'm sorry, values, and then the actual values which are coming from the variables. So the method to concatenate variables is single word comma, double word comma, plus plus, double comma, single worded comma. So simply copy and paste it three times more, because there are four variables. Yes, so I've done it, and simply provide it in sequence: name, city, uh, I think contact, yes, and salary. Yeah, so the query is completed and there are no errors, as you can see. Yeah, there are no errors. This query is completed, and you have done the most important part of this video actually. The query is completed here. Now you have to execute this query, and the class used for that is the SQL command class. Initialize, instantiated. It has five overloads. The overload that you require is the third one, which has the command text, which is basically the query. So I'll pass on this variable. And the second one is a connection string, which is in the connection variable, which is global. So that's it. And you have to do a command.execute non-query method so that the command is actually executed. Lastly, if you want to show a pop-up message like the records are inserted or something like that, you can use the class of message box, and you can use its method show and write that the record is record is inserted successfully. Record is inserted successfully. Yeah, so that's it. One more thing, there is a cancel button here as well. I think I have implemented cancel button. Yes, there it is. So what I will do in the cancel button, whenever it is clicked, I will take my user back to the dashboard screen. So what I have to do, simply the form navigation that I have shown previously. I have done it as well, I think. Where's my add employee? Here it is. And where's my event? Here it is. The button cancel click. So I've simply implemented the form one class here and its object, and did a show method here. So it will automatically take me to the previous dashboard. So that's it. The code has been written, the query has been completed, and let's just start the form and check if it is working successfully. Yeah, so add employee. ID is automatic. It is the As you can see, I'm clicking here, but it is not enabling. Just a second. Run it again because my antivirus will automatically close it. Here it is. The add employee. Okay, the full name, I will give it a full name. Let's say the full name is Muhammad Anas. The city is Islamabad. The contact is whatever the contact is. The salary is, let's say, 70,000. Okay, let's save it. There's an error here. What is the error here? These are important because there are only so many errors that I can show you in a video. So it's good that the errors are popping up so I can see this. What is the error here? Okay, incorrect syntax near the keyword values. This is an SQL Server exception. As you can see, SQL exception near the keyword values. Okay, so there is an error when I wrote the query. Let me check. Insert into table name. Yeah, so I have missed a bracket here. See, such small mistakes can lead to disaster. Good thing that that error popped up, because if you did any mistake writing the query, there will be an SQL exception. Okay, so hopefully now there will be no error. Uh, let's run this again. City, then contact, whatever the contact is, the salary here, and let's save this again. Okay, so record is inserted successfully. Okay, but let's actually see if it is inserted or not. So let me take you back to the dashboard. Here I am again on the dashboard, and let me check my table. Let me refresh this, and if Muhammad Usman, yes, yeah, Muhammad Anas is here. So the record is inserted successfully. So yeah, I have done my part, and I have done what I needed to do in this video. I have inserted successfully my user in my table. So yeah, I've done this thing. Next, in the next video, I will go towards I will show you how to update or delete an employee, and of course, you'll move towards next with the search employee, and it will do this as well, how to automatically show or display all the records that are present in your table. Yeah, so that's it for now. I will inshallah, move towards the next video and carry on with this CRUD application work. Okay, thank you so much.